Hello guys. Today we are going to discuss about the computer network security, and this tutorial is for just educational purpose only and should be used for enhancing your understanding of the network security principles and practices. So let's get started. So computer network security involves the policies, practicals, and the technologies designed to protect the confidentiality and the availability of the data and the resources on the computer network. So effective network security manages the access to the network and detects the response to the threats and ensures that the legitimate users can access the resources they need. So why network security is important? So there are some four reasons or four major reasons. So the network security is important. First, that is protection of data that prevents unauthorized access and modifications from the intruder or the destruction of the data. So the second thing, that is operational continuity. So that ensures that the network services are available and reliable. So the third thing, that is regulatory compliance, so that meets the legal and the regulatory requirements for the data protection. So the last thing, that is reputation management, so that protects the organization's reputation by preventing data breaches and the cyber attacks. So there are some course and principle of the network security. First, that is confidentially, and that ensures the data is accessible only to the authorized users. And there are some techniques includes like encryption. Second is access control, and third is data masking. So encryption, that transfers the reliable data into an unreadable format using an secret algorithm, we can say. So the access control restricts the access to the database on the user roles and the permissions. So data masking, that is a specific data within a database to prevent the unauthorized access through the admin panel of which you are using the database. So third, that is integrity, so that ensures the data is accurate and has not been tampered with the such techniques that includes like hash functions, digital signatures, and checksums. The hash function generates a unique hash value for the data, which changes if the data is altered. And second thing, that is digital signatures, that verifies the authenticity and the integrity of the data. So third thing, that is checksum, that validates the integrity of the data during the transfer or storage. So the next principle, that is availability, so that ensures the network services are accessible or authorized users when needed. So there are some techniques included in these steps, that is use of duplicate systems and the data to ensure the availability of during failure. So second is to distribute the network traffic across multiple servers to prevent overload. And the last step, that is strategies to recover the data and the services in case of a failure. So there are some layers of network security, like physical layer, data link layer, network layer, transport layer, application layer, and so on. So physical layer protects the physical component of the network, like access controls, environmental controls. The access controls secure the physical access to the network equipment, and the environmental control maintains the proper environmental conditions to protect the hardware, that ensures there are proper temperature and the climate. So the second step, that is data link layer. So that ensures the secure connection between the devices on the same local network, like MAC filtering and switch port security. So MAC filtering restricts the network access based on MAC address, and switch port security limits the number of the devices that can connect to a switch port. So network security that secures the data as it travels across the networks, like IPsec means Internet Protocol Security, and firewall. It also contains NAT, that is known as a network address translation. So IPsec encrypts and authenticates the IP packets. Firewall filters the incoming and outgoing traffic based on the security rules which are set by the admin or the user. So NAT that hides the internal IP address from the external network. So transport layer that protects the data during the transfer between systems, like TLS and SSL, that is transport layer security and secure socket layer, that encrypts the data during transmission. And there is another transport layer that is also known as TCP and UDP, port security, that monitors and restricts the access to the specific network port. As you've seen in the footprinting session, that there are some TCP and UDP ports that are restricting some access to the specific port. Like I was using a third party, or we can say the private antivirus program. So the next thing, or we can say the next layer of network security, is the application layer. So that secures the application and their interaction over the network, like web application firewall, that protects the web application by filtering and monitoring the HTTP traffic. So the second thing, that is antivirus and anti-malware, that detects and prevents such malicious softwares. So that is also thing on the application layer, because the software is application based. So that's it. So the another thing, that is network security patches, that regular updates to fix the vulnerabilities in the application. So there are some network security technologies like firewall. IDPS means uh, intruder detection and prevention system. So the third thing, that is VPNs, virtual private networks. And fourth, that is network access control, NAC. And fifth one, that is SIEM, that is also known as security information event management. So let's discuss the firewall. The firewall controls the flow of network traffic, that enforcing the security policies based on the predefined rules, as we discussed just few minutes before. So it contains some packet filtering firewalls that inspect the individual packets and the allows all or blocks the rules, or there are some stateful firewalls that monitors the state of active connection and make the decisions based on the context of the firewall. So third thing, that is next generation firewalls, NGFW, that combines the traditional firewall functions that with an additional features like intruder preventions and application awareness. So let's discuss about intruders detection and prevention system, like IDPS. So IDPS monitor network traffic for suspicious activity, that takes the action to prevent the potential threats, like security based detection, anonymously based detection, host based IDS means HIDs, and network based IDs and IDs, that is also known as. So let's discuss the signature based detection, that identifies the known threats using predefined signatures. The data which the antivirus softwares collect from the um, different kind of their we can say customers. So they just collect the data of the antivirus, malware, and the specific virus, and they just say sells the data to the security companies. So that are also known as signature based detection. So the code, or we can say the some particular information about the virus or the threat is just registered in the software. So when we detect the software that matches some similarities, there are some similarities in the new virus, or we can say the virus we had found in the current system, that it's some there are some features like that are matching to the previous detected virus or the malware. So then it detects and just ban or block the services, and just we can say start inspecting on it. So that's the signature based detection. So second one is anonymous based detection, that detects the deviation from the normal behavior of the threat. So third, that is host based IDs, means HIDs. So that monitors the individual devices for signings of compromise. So fourth one, that is network based IDS, means NIDs. So that monitors the network traffic for malicious activity. So next thing, that is VPN, virtual private network. So VPNs create a secure connection over the internet, protecting the data in transit. So there are some steps for the VPNs, like remote access VPNs. So that allows the remote user to securely connect to the corporate network. So next VPN, that is site to site VPNs, that securely connects the different network over the internet. So next thing in network security technologies, that is network access control, NSC. So NSC restricts the network access based on the user identity and the device compliance. So that contains pre-admission control and post-admission control. So pre-admission controls evaluates the device before granting network access. So there is post admission control. It monitors the devices after they have connected to the network. So fifth thing, that is security information and event management, SIEM. So SIEM system collects and analyze the log data from various sources to detect and respond to security incidents. As we discussed the signature based detection, it's similar to that. So it contains log management, event coordination or correlations, so and incident response. So log management has the centralized and manage and that manages the logs from the multiple sources. And the another thing, that is event correlation, so that analyze the log data to prevent or some identify the patterns and the potential threats. So last thing, that is incident response, that provides the tools and workflow for the responding to security incidents. So there are some network security based practices that contains strong password policies, regular software updates and patch management, and employee training and awareness. Also contains the regular security audits and penetration testing with the network segments or segmentation with the data inscription. So let's discuss them all. So just discuss the strong password policies. So that contains uses of complex password and change them regularly. And the next thing, that is implement multi-factor authentication, like two-step authentication or three-step authentication. Like the another thing, that is a regular software update and patch management, to keep all the softwares and firmware up to date. Apply security patches promptly to fix the vulnerabilities. So third thing, that is employee training and awareness. So educate the employees about the security best practices and potential threats. conduct a regular security awareness training session, and the next thing that is a regular security audit and penetration testing. Perform regular audits to assess the effectiveness of security control and conduct penetration testing to identify and fix the vulnerabilities. So there are some networks segmentation, like they divide the network into segments to limit the spread of attack, and implement the VLNS and subnets to isolate the sensitive data and systems. So the last thing that is data encryptions. So encrypt sensitive data both at rest and in the transit, and use this strong encryption that standards and key management practices. So computer network security is a multi-layered approach that requires the constant uh, and we can say adaptation to the new threats. By understanding the principles and the practices of network security, you can better protect your network and the data from cyber threats. Remember to always use this knowledge for ethically and responsibly. So you can spread this awareness with the people nearby you to just aware them and keep the network safe. So stay tuned for more cybersecurity tips, and thank you for watching this lecture, and bye.